We have a treat for you. A Game Plan Old Coney Island. There are 3,000 of these that were made by Game Plan. Game Plan was in business from 1978 to 1985. They made 26 machines. 23 were released. But you know, out of that, 12 of them were cocktail tables. So they made more cocktail table pinballs than anybody. The Peanut Gallery over there. 3,000 old Coney Islands. The big hit, of course, was Sharpshooter. As a matter of fact, we have a video of, we think, a prototype Sharpshooter. I'll put the link at the end of this video you can watch that we did a couple years ago. That one they made 4,200 of. Then they made 3,000 of them. But look at this playfield. It's a carbon copy of Sharpshooter. You know, why fool around with success? It's actually not a carbon copy. It's close, but it's not. I had to say that. They had the same drop targets at the nice angle here, but there were some differences on Sharpshooter, so that's not entirely fake. So it's a facsimile. And who put this here? Who put that on top of the little girl's forehead? Nice face. Bird. Who put that? Put that there. Oh. The Peanut Gallery. That's mean. Come on. Come on. How can you do that to Coney Island? Stephen had to do a lot of work on this to bring this back from the dead. This is our only Coney Island. As a matter of fact, it's our only Game Plan. We dug this out for a customer. He's a very good customer. He buys a lot of games. And we really spent a lot of time fixing plastics. We got this as close to factory as we can. The only difference is we had to put a pop bumper. It actually came with this different manufacturer pop bumper here because the Sharpshooter, the Game Plan ones, were so unusual. But we did at least get a blue-white cap, and then it mixes with the white-blue. And it does say 1,000 on it, so that was the good news. We were able to at least match that up. The original Game Plan drop targets are perfect. All the decals are perfect. It's actually in remarkable shape. Stephen did have to repaint her, and we've sealed it in Mylar. We did have to paint. We had to do a lot of paint on our back glass too, unfortunately. But we think that what we finished with is a very nice piece of equipment. We've put LEDs in the back. You can see how Stephen has worked very hard to restore it. Game Plan covered all of their scores here with this color to make the numbers look more red. But did you know Game Plan did something that no other manufacturer did, and now everybody's going to it? Look, low voltage LEDs. Wow, they thought of this back in 1978, and guess what? They never go bad. Here it is, 35 years later. How many displays on your Game Plan games that still survive are bad? None. That's right. They are in remarkably great shape. They've held up all these years, all these displays. And what a great idea. And now we're doing it. Yes, all the glass high voltage displays are being changed over to what Game Plan had invented anyway back then. That was a big first for Game Plan. The problem was, right in here, we had to do a lot of work. Here's the main logic board, okay? And this is your solenoid driver board, and here's your lamp driver board. Game Plan made two big mistakes. Two. Number one,
Coney Island.
this is a good game. You'll see when we play it. Number one, the connectors. These have got to be the world's worst connectors on planet Earth. There is nothing worse. The little tiny crappy pins are so small, and invariably when you're plugging the plug back in, it misfires, you miss an edge, you bend a pin. Oh, it was a horrible, horrible, horrible.
Not only that, if they get bent, they usually break when you try to straighten them.
Right, if you try to straighten them, they snap off. Horrible. But the number one problem with Game Plan, and I kind of tend to think it's possibly one of the reasons Game Plan ceased to exist, was the rechargeable battery they slapped right here on the logic board. And do you know why? I picture that the man that was doing the buying for Game Plan, you know, they always assign somebody, they buy all the parts, they buy this. He probably got this great deal on rechargeable batteries, this great deal, because the batteries were crap. Do you know within 1 or 2 years of these games being manufactured, that damn battery was already leaking? That's Monday Night Football over there. That darn battery started leaking all over the place. I remember having a Sharpshooter in 1981, and they couldn't fix the logic board. The battery had leaked all over the place. We weren't thinking about batteries back then. Nobody was. But the man, I want to tell everybody right now, the purchaser for Game Plan that purchased all those crummy batteries for all their crummy games, if I was the president of Game Plan, I would have walked up to him and said, whoever, "You're fired!" That's right. You're fired! Oh boy. Yes, and you know what? I'm going to show you something. Look, here's proof in the pudding. These are all the Game Plan games we junked. We junked all of these Game Plan games because pins broke off and batteries dry rotted or whatever. I hate to tell you, but we junked Game Plan after Game Plan. Now, remember, this was at a time, actually, we're getting these ready to put these up on Greed Bay. So you're going to see a whole bunch of Game Plan boards. These were all tested and they don't work. We weren't even going to get involved in straightening out these pins. So we're going to be just selling these the way they are. But they're nice and clean. Driver boards. I don't know why we don't only have 2 driver boards, but we had all these logic boards. But those batteries leaked. So, it's a sad thing, but that's what has to happen. But got a lot of nice displays, though. We are going to put the displays up on eBay, too, and they all work, actually. So you'll see them. They're actually listed now. But let's get back to Game Plan. They stapled the directions are actually still here. How to program, how to adjust settings and such. Oh, another weak point were these crummy connectors. They were clever, at least, to have these different colored connectors, but the pins inside are so difficult, and they're not a normal size pin. So we actually had to make a couple new connectors for our customer. So when we ship this game to him, he'll be able to match color for color and name for name. But what a mess. Look at this. Now, power supply, we did put a new filter cap, the 5-volt cap in here, and we reflowed all the solder on it. This was a dependable thing other than the capacitor. So we have a new capacitor there, and of course we have our lithium battery here with a quick connect, so our customer can change the battery down the road with no ill effects. Did you show how nice Stephen did on the cabinet? We repainted the white, obviously, and all the side art has been repainted. It looks terrific. We put a free play button in the front, although the coins still work. This uses the same soundboard as the Sharpshooter. Yes, the same sound, even the clippity-clop from the horses. Let's give it a start. Okay. Now, your first shot, of course, keeps you up here. You have to roll through CON of Coney Island. Of course, in Sharpshooter is SHA, and then the RP was elsewhere on the playfield. But it feeds you into these 3 pop bumpers, and you get pretty good action through these. Now, this target here lights 1 pop bumper, and the other target lights 2. So after you roll through one here, see, this one lights the 2, and then this one lights the 1. And then, of course, that gives you all those extra points. Now, I want to tell you something about the Sharpshooters and also Coney Island. This was always a blinker bulb, a 455. It's on the GI circuit, the General Illumination Circuit. And it always makes this terrific sound when you go through here. Listen. So that was always a highlight. I remember we actually had a Sharpshooter at Temple University. I ran the game rooms in Temple way back then. And that was the big treat if the students were able to get the ball through that hole. Boy, it didn't take much to please anybody, did it?
That and bell bottoms.
Right, Walter? Oh, Walter, what did you got there? Oh, a box of what? Yes, these are the displays from all those games. Yes, a ton of displays. Sadly, a lot of 7-digit displays. I hate to say it, but back then nobody wanted these games. You know, things have changed a lot. There was a time when we couldn't give stuff. We actually threw complete pinball machines away. We kept the heads because they had the electronics and things in them. That's why we have all these boards, but we threw the bodies away. It was a very, dark period of pinball history. And of course we wish we had them then, but you had to pay storage all that time. But anyway, let's get back to this game. This has this really nice loop shot here. And you get your points all the way up through the top. The top one gives you more points than the others. And here's the clippity-clop I was talking about. See how they did it, though? In Sharpshooter, of course, it was a Western theme, but here, pony rides. How clever. Really good idea. Let's incorporate the same thing. And your kick-out hole. Of course, it's very nice. You get your... All right, Kurt, what are you doing over there? You're making fun of me. I know you are.
So's the whole audience.
Never would we do that.
You didn't like the clippity-clop thing, or what? What didn't you like?
Pony ride.
Pony ride. Oh, God.
What is it, fries?
Oh, all right. Anyway, island here. Raise island, exclamation point. See, when they had shooter there, that filled it out nice. But see, we got ISLAND. And of course we had that extra space. How clever. Let's make it the exclamation point.
So witty.
Anyway, it actually plays well. Let me shoot a ball. You can see, you know what, we're not playing on legs. We are playing on our dolly, so it's almost level. But you can actually see how fast it plays, even on legs. You've got fantastic action. And because they angled these targets rarely broke. It was really clever. Gottlieb did that too in Royal Flush. They angled those targets too. And other people angled them. You get some really nice shots. Very well laid out table. Very well laid out table. Anyway, I think, Frank, I covered everything. I guess that's about it. I don't know what else to cover on this baby, but oh, your pop bumpers do stay lit throughout the game. So once you hit those targets, they're on until the game is over. Good basic fun, but what a great game. I like it, Kurt. What do you think of that? He's Wade. Look at him. Look at this boy.
I'm looking at the artwork on that backlist.
Wait a minute. Let's look here. Let's go around this.
What do you think, Kurt? I mean, to be one of the only videos to document this game, you think we could have put forth
How about this?
And put some legs on the game?
That would help.
How about this pretty girl?
I like the little kid with the forehead.
The forehead. Well, yeah, we already did the forehead. How about the little baby here? That's Seagar there. Who did you think that looked like, Kurt? Bert Con something or whatever. Pretty girl here. The back glass is full of color. Some very unusual characters here. Anyway, Coney Island is ready. We are packing this up and shipping it out next week. But guess what else is coming tomorrow? Gottlieb's Force 2. You haven't seen that one either, have you? Good night. How about buying a real arcade game for your house? My daughter Tammy will show you all about it.
Have you ever thought of owning your own video arcade game? Well, come to TNT Amusements. We've got plenty of them. We have 100 different machines for sale in our Southampton, PA showroom. Where can you find classics like Galaxian and Mortal Kombat, Pac-Man, Space Invaders, Stargate? Oh, and we have pinball. If you get tired of your game, we guarantee you generous trade-in credit. How about buying your very own shuffle bowling alley? Woo! Oh, I love touchscreen games. How about buying your very own bubbler jukebox that holds 500 CDs?
It's electric!
And all of our machines come with TNT Amusements' exclusive 5-year service plan. Go to our website for prices and more info, TNTAmusements.com.
We're in the yellow pages under amusement.